welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. Don't forget to subscribe because then you can keep up with my videos as they're uploaded. Today I did this makeup look. I recently wore it to a wedding and actually took a picture of it, and I've gotten a few people saying, oh, it's such a pretty look, did you do a tutorial? So I thought I would do one today, and I love how it turned out with the gold lid color. The star of this look is definitely Makeup Geek's Fortune Teller, which is a beautiful yellow gold shade that is stunning on the lids, and I hope you enjoy getting to see how I got this look from beginning to end. I'm really sorry if I was out of focus at any point. I'm actually working on getting a new camera and lighting and all of that, so the content is only going to get better. I'm getting started with my eyes today. I'm going to take a little bit of Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek and taking that onto a MAC 217 blending brush, and I'm going to just blend that through my crease. This is just a transition shade so that when I put down the rest of my colors, it just blends smoothly. And if you're wondering what this is, it's from Tweezing, because that's how I do my eyebrows. I don't get them done because they got ruined by getting them done. So now I have a tweeze mark, which is okay, right? No big deal or anything. To lay down a base on my eyelid, I'm going to use the Morphe M561, which is basically just a flat shader brush. I'm going into the Maybelline Eye Studio gel eyeliner in Blackest Black, and that's what I'm going to use as my base for my lid. And I'm just going to pack that all over my lid as always. And I almost always use a very dark base for my eye if I'm going to be going in with a bolder color or something that really needs to pop. If I'm going in with lighter colors or a simple eye look, I'll usually just use the Smashbox Cream Shadow or the MAC Paint Pots. So I just bring it all the way around and keep packing it on and blending it all the way around. Also, just make sure it's kind of smoothed out in your crease, because then when you put other colors on top, it could stick there and get like kind of condensed in that area. So you want to make sure that this is just as smooth and thinned out as the rest of the eye is. And the reason I love this specific gel eyeliner is because it literally is so creamy and easy to blend over the eyelid and pack on, but at the same time, once it's applied and it's on your eye, it's not budging, so it's not moving around, and it keeps your powder shadows in place so well. Once my base is applied, I then go in with that same blending brush that I used before and that same shade called Peach Smoothie, and I run it through the crease once more. And this just once again is ensuring that my crease is blended and that it will stay smooth once the rest of my shadows are placed down. The next color is basically the star of the show for this look, and it's this one by Makeup Geek called Fortune Teller. I'm going to use this brush. It is the C205 Red Sable Oval, and I think it's also by Morphe. It's just a very small flat shader brush, and it's very thin, so it does a very good job of packing shadows on. And I'm going into the color, and I'm picking up quite a bit, and then I'm packing it on. You can see how gorgeous that is already. Next, I'm actually going to go in with my finger and pack on even more with my finger. It's still dry. I'm then going to take the MAC Prep Plus Prime Fix Plus. I'm going to spray that onto my brush, and then picking up a little more of the color and just packing it once again on top. It does slightly foil it and make it even more metallic and even more vibrant. I'm going to use my Morphe Brushes 35U palette. I'm going to pick up this shade. It's a beautiful cranberry purple shade. I'm going to use a second MAC 217 to apply this color. I'm going to put that through the crease. So I'm starting right at the center here, and I'm just slowly blending out the edges. And the way you keep this from looking like you were punched in the eye is by keeping it low and blending out slowly in small motion. If you go in windshield wiper motions and just go back and forth like that, really big and wide, you will end up smoking it out too much, and it'll end up too high, and it will look like you were punched in the eye, and that is where this look can go really bad. So just keep it right in that crease area, blending slowly, picking up a little more color if you need it, and then going back and forth all the way around. I do take it just a little bit higher than the crease, but it mainly stays right in that crease and just a tiny bit higher. I'm going to use my Morphe M168 brush to pack on a little bit of black right in that crease to really darken it up and kind of make like a cut crease sort of look. It's a very, very tiny and short pencil brush, and it just really packs the color into a small area. I'm going to use Makeup Geek's Corrupt, which is a really dark black color, and I'm just going right on that crease line with it, going back and forth and carving out the crease. Not blending it, not touching it yet, just carving. And then I do take it just a little bit on this outer edge, a little thicker. And very, very, very lightly, just a tiny bit on this inner area as well. Not taking it right into that inner corner, but keeping it just here and then kneading it with that line that I created originally. Just going over my lines a few times to make sure that they look perfect, and then going back in with that crease color, which is the same slightly purple raspberry shade from the Morphe 35U palette, and blending out the edges of that black shade. And then just to make sure everything is nice and blended, I'm going to take a little bit of Peach Smoothie once again, and it kind of just, what it does is like just erases any harsh lines. So I just use it to go over the very, very edge of the crease color so that it smooths over and makes it look really, really blended. I do go back in with a little bit of Fortune Teller, that same gold shade that I have on the center of the lid, and I make sure it hasn't lost any of its vibrancy while being blended out with other shades. So I just take my finger and pack it on. The next thing I do is basically the exact same thing that I did on this area. I just do the exact same thing on the lower lash line. So I take a little bit of the Makeup Geek Corrupt and that same short pencil brush, and I'll take a little bit of that and pack it all along the lower lash line, keeping it very, very close, not too smoky. Then I take the Morphe M432, which is basically a straight flat edge, and I pick up the Fortune Teller gold color by Makeup Geek, and I pack it right in the center, pressing it up into the lash line. Then taking that same short pencil brush, and I go into that raspberry shade and blend that just a little bit under the entire thing, keeping it once again really, really close to those other colors. With that same brush, the last thing I do is take a little bit of Peach Smoothie and run it along the very edges. Once again, this just makes everything look nice and smoothed out. The way I apply my eyeliner is I usually use my Milani Liquid Like eyeliner pencil, and I'll dip into my Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Eyeliner in Blackest Black, which I use as my original base, and I'll use that on my waterline using the pencil to line my waterline. Because I wear lenses, I actually need to pull down on my under eye to keep it from touching my lenses. So if you're a lens wearer, keep that in mind. Okay, this look is finally coming together quite a bit. I want this to soak into my skin while I'm waiting and doing the rest of my eyes. This is the Jergens Natural Glow Daily Moisturizer in medium to tan, and I'm going to put this all over my skin. I take about 3 pumps of that and take it onto my fingertips, and I'll use that as a moisturizer slash primer. My moisturizer usually ends up being my primer, or I just skip the moisturizing step and go in with a primer. Because it's spring here, I like when my skin looks a little darker, a little deeper, a little more tan. I like to use a tanning moisturizer like this on my face pretty much every 2 to 3 days. I focus it a lot on the center of my face, so on my nose and then in this cheek area, because that's where the sun naturally hits, and then also right here, like on my outer temples, and then just blending it into the center. And then I'll bring it down to my neck and blend it downwards so that my neck then looks just like my face. The concealer I'm going to use on my inner corners is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Fair. I've used this a ton in previous tutorials, but I love this stuff. It's just my favorite concealer, and I just literally dot it and blend it just a tiny bit onto that inner corner. And then I'll use my finger to blend it into place. You just have to be super careful that you're not covering up any of your shadows that you have there either, but just actually just cleaning up and making it look more bright in there. You see what a big difference that makes? Because I actually have very dark inner corners. I'm going to be using MAC Nylon for my inner corner because it's a beautiful inner corner highlight shade, and I'm going to use my Morphe E18 brush to apply that there, bringing it at the center and then blending it up just a little bit up that way and a little bit down this way, but mainly focusing it right in here. So before I put on my lashes, I always go in with mascara, because the velour lashes specifically, and any mink lashes, you don't actually want to be putting mascara on them. Oh, this is a new one for me actually. The Rimmel London Super Curler 24-Hour Volume and Curl Mascara. It's really long names. I do really like this one so far. It has a really good wand on it. And then I'm going to do the lower lashes as well. These are called Fluff and Thick by Velour. Of course, I'm using my Duo eyelash adhesive in the dark tone version. I will do a eyelash applying tutorial just to like really go in depth if anybody's interested, so just leave your comments down below if you'd like me to do that. We're done with the eyes. I'm going to do my face. For my foundation, I'm going in with this, which is my newest foundation, and I'll probably be talking about it in a favorites video coming up soon. I'll go into depth on that then, but let me just tell you, I love this stuff. It's amazing. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. I am in the shade light to medium beige. So the way you have to work this foundation is you actually have to pump it up before, because it's one of those that has a dropper. So it actually, you're pumping up the foundation into the dropper, and then I'll use the back of my hand and I'll just pump out 2 to 3 pumps. And that's actually a good amount for my entire face. It's kind of a runny foundation. I will just take a little bit on my fingertips and I'll dot it into place. And I'm using my Morphe M439 brush, which is a really great foundation brush that I've been liking to use a lot lately. And I'll just kind of pat that into place. And my main concern when it comes to foundation is definitely my cheeks, because they're red. That's always where I have the most texture. It's definitely slightly dark for me. My body is actually this color right now because of self-tanning. I'm just bringing it down to my neck. And as you can see, my son scratched me right here. So I have a scratch mark that I need to cover. I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Concealer. This is very potent, as you can see. You don't need very much. So I just take a little bit and pack it under my eye and then just blend it and blend it. And I use my foundation brush to do this. I know a lot of people like to go in with a smaller brush, but for me this just does the job of getting it done quickly. To set my under eye area, I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade Plus Light palette. And I'm going to use my Real Techniques contour brush, which is what I use to set under my eyes. I'm picking the powder up. And you can see that kind of neutralizes it a little bit. And it also really sets my concealer in place and keeps it from moving around, because I have a problem where my concealers tend to crease up on me. I'm going to use my Real Techniques 301, which is another type of contour brush. And I'm going to use a mixture of these two to contour. Literally just stick it right in there. And then I'll just take whatever's left and go over my temples. And then I just take a little bit and go along my jaw right here. And then I'll take my Morphe E4. This is an angled brush that you can use for contouring as well. I'll just pick up a tiny bit of both of those same colors and just blend over where I've made that harsh line, so that it looks a little less harsh, a lot more blended. I love this Shade Light palette, by the way. The powders blend out flawlessly. They're so beautiful. I'm just blending all along any of the lines I've made. I'm going in with my MAC Soft and Gentle highlight again. This is a mineralized skin finish powder, and I just really like it, especially for this look. And I'm going to go in with that same Real Techniques contour brush that I used to set under my eyes with, because I like it for this. I just go into the powder and blend it right over my cheekbone area, right above my cheekbone. I've been using this a lot in my looks lately because it's just gorgeous. I'll take a little bit down the center of my nose as well and over my cupid's bow. Today I'm using my Milani Berry Amour blush because it kind of matches well with that crease color, I feel. I just go over my cheek and pull it back. For my lips, I'm going to be using this combination. I'm going to go in first with my Revlon Colorstay Ultimate Liquid Lipstick in the color Buffest Beige. I like it because it's a beautiful nude, which goes beautifully with this look. Because it's such a nude shade, I don't feel like I need lip liner with it. I let that set down a little bit, and then I'll do my eyebrows before I put on my lip gloss. I'm going to be using my Anastasia No. 12 brow brush to do my eyebrows and the Dip Brow Pomade in medium brown. Just going to go over the edges a little bit with that, just to give them a little more shape. Now I'll just take the little spoolie and brush out where I feel like it's a little too harsh. The complete look, I'm going to put on this Buxom lip gloss. It is in the shade Dolly. It's kind of a mauve pinky shade, and I really like it on top of this lipstick. It kind of does this tingly minty thing and plumps up your lips. And as you can see, I have no top lip, so I actually feel like I need it. They're shiny, slightly tacky, but comfortable. I need to get like a ton more of these in different shades because seriously, wow, I just love them. And that's the look done. subscribe, like, and comment as always, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!